Today I'm here to talk to you about natural user interface. But before I begin my discussion on natural user interface, I would like to give you a brief history of the other interfaces used throughout the computer industry. The first interface that I want to talk about today is called command line interface. Command line interface was a very amazing interface at its time, but looking back at it, it seems very clunky. It wasn't very fun, and it wasn't very intuitive, and it required a lot of training to operate. The scariest part about command line interface is that it reminds me of the Terminator. Anybody seen the Terminator? Yeah. So it kind of forced humans to think like computers. Yeah, and they'll be back with more weapons and goodness. First is the idea of graphical user interface. In graphical user interface, we now have implicated the mouse, and we have graphics. For the first time, we're actually able to see pictures, and everything's pretty much self-explanatory with the pictures, because now you have a desktop, you have folders, and you have a trash bin. One thing about the desktop is that you know whenever you have work on your desktop, you know that it's something you're currently working on. We put documents and pictures in folders to make sure that we don't get things like coffee stains and last night's spaghetti sauce on there. And we have trash bins to throw away things like, let's say, our outdated documents, and we have those pictures from last Christmas vacation that we didn't want anyone to see. And while we're at it, let's just throw a MacBook in there. When we think, we only think in pictures. We don't think in text. So if I were to tell you that I went to the store yesterday, you would actually imagine me going into a store. You wouldn't imagine the words, I went to the store. Okay, moving on, I'm going to talk about natural user interface now. Natural user interface is this really cool, new innovative way to use technology. It's more instinctual, because when we're born, we're not born with a keyboard and a mouse strapped in our laps, but we're born with our hands and our feet and our face. Gorgeous. And now I'd like to talk about how CAAT is moving forward to create new uses for the natural user interface. With natural user interface, we plan to see it in doctor's offices, because when we go to their doctor's office, we normally spend about 5 hours in the waiting room, 5 minutes with the doctor, and I plan to change that by incorporating a screen in the waiting room. When you walk into the building, you're normally handed forms to fill out. When I was little, my mom used to take me to the doctor's office, and she would spend about 15 minutes filling out forms. But as I got older, I learned to read and write, and now she's all like, here, you can fill them out. So what if there was a computer in the room for me to walk in, and it actually recognizes my face? I've been here at such and such time ago, and it wants to have a quick update. So it asks me to gently press my palm on the screen so I can take my blood pressure and my temperature. Another great use for natural user interface is in restaurants. When we go to the restaurant, we normally face the challenge of not knowing what we want. We're all like, yeah, I want something that tastes like a burrito, but it shouldn't be a burrito. So what if we had an interactive menu, something like a slate, and we can actually talk to it? Like, hi menu, I'm hungry. I want something that's like a burrito, but it's not a burrito. And we don't want to have anyone looking at us like we're that crazy guy on the bus who's talking to the newspaper. So it actually gives us recommendation, and within the waiting time for your bill to arrive, what if you actually had the menu convert into a small video game that you can play at any time? And another great use is for it to be incorporated into rescue operations and natural disasters such as what happened in the oil spill and the Great Gulf. What if we were able to control robots with natural user interface versus the idea of a joypad? No matter how great that we've gotten with the joypad, thanks to games like Pac-Man and Galaga. Yeah, I just told my age on that one. Yeah, so the joystick will never be as sensitive as a natural user interface. We now have the ability to tell the robot to go, hey, why don't you grab the valve and turn it 30 degrees clockwise, 20 degrees counterclockwise, move up 2 millimeters, and left 3 centimeters. And now it's time for my 3-point switch. Being the wins your hearts. At CAAT, as developers, we are actually willing to face the challenge of working hard with these coding and things like CSS, HTML, and Silverlight. All these things that we're going to work with to make your lives easier with anyway. Thank you. And I would like to introduce Martha Zuniga,